After spending some time with the M4 MacBook Air, I've absolutely loved it. I just finished up doing a video on it, but as you might have seen in that video, I also talked about having the M4 iPad Pro. And since this has been basically my replacement for the M1 Pro MacBook Pro, and if you take this iPad Pro combined with my Magic Keyboard, and then you take the 15-inch M4 MacBook Air, both come in at just around the same price point. So if you're somebody that is looking at one or the other, I just want to share my perspective and help you decide which one might be the right one for you. Let's start with the iPad Pro, because the way I look at the iPad Pro in trying to fit into this like new computing space, right? For some, it's going to be a computer. For others, it's just simply not going to be enough. They'll be limited. And the way I look at this is kind of like having a gas versus electric car. When you have a gas car, I have one of both, okay? And so when you have a gas car, you go to the gas station, you fill it up, there's not much to think about, and you can go on a road trip because you don't really have to think about how you're going to stop to fill up or where you're going to stop to fill up. Whereas with an electric car, you have to do some planning. It's not like there's a downside to having an electric car, but you do have to do some planning as to thinking, okay, we should stop here along the way, and we should maybe make a stop here. Whatever the case might be, that's kind of like how I look at the iPad Pro. For some of you, it's going to be like that electric vehicle, to where you have to, when grabbing this only for the day or for a trip, you have to think that, okay, the things that I have to do on this trip, am I going to be able to finish them or do them efficiently with the iPad Pro, or should I bring my computer? Now, with an electric car, depending on the city that you live in or how accessible fast charging is when you're out and about, or what kind of routes or what kind of climates you live in, those are going to be big factors in terms of making a decision or whether or not your experience is going to be good with an electric vehicle. For example, around me, I have plenty of fast chargers. Even if I go on a road trip, I shouldn't really have a problem. I might have to wait every now and then at a charging station for somebody to be done before I can plug in, but that's about it. I'm not really concerned or worried that I'll run out of a charge. And that's how my experience with the iPad Pro has been these last several months. Like, the only thing I really can't do on here is the video editing part of my workflow. Other than that, everything from managing my website, watching videos, using the web browser, doing anything that 95% of the people want to do, it's not a problem at all. Now, by far, one of my favorite things about the iPad experience has been the fact that it's an iPad first. You can't do this right now with a MacBook. You simply can't. There's no MacBook that'll allow you to do it. Whether it's landscape or in horizontal, you're going to have a really good intimate experience. And whether it's reading something, watching a video, I often take my folio flip magnetic case off and I'm just sitting on the couch watching a few videos or maybe playing a game or something. And this is one thing where the MacBook just can't do it. Apple simply making this light and slim enough has been the best upgrade that they've done by far. The other nice thing that they did here is just a really good display. So you combine the light form factor with a really good display. This is an experience that you just can't get anywhere else. And I wish that Apple would update their Final Cut Pro app to be able to take advantage of the computing power inside here, so that way I can literally take my Pencil Pro and work on a video when I'm on the move. Because if I could do that, then, well, now this 100% can be my computer. Now, as good as this form factor is, right, what's even more awesome is the fact that you add the Magic Keyboard and you slide this thing into the keyboard, and now you've got a keyboard, you've got a trackpad, and you've got a nice screen. And this is what I like about the 11-inch, is that it's comfortable enough to be the iPad version of it, but then it's also a sufficient enough size for me to work off of for things that require a keyboard and trackpad. So if there's extensive writing that I have to do, because in the touch mode only, like the iPad mode only, what I like to do is I don't use the full on-screen keyboard. I actually will just have the mini keyboard pop up. So I have it set to the right side here. And what that does for me is whether I have the pencil in my hand or if I'm just using my fingers to use the swipe keyboard, it's on my dominant hand side. And if you wanted to move it to the opposite side, you could do that. But it makes it so it's almost like typing on an iPhone. So I can quickly just swipe on here what I want to type, and I can make use of this iPad mode only. But then when you have those longer sessions where you need to type up a longer email or a longer document, that's where the Magic Keyboard with the trackpad comes really, really handy. The only place where the iPad Pro will fail is whether or not your specific type of work that you're doing, whether it's been optimized through apps or whether it's been optimized in terms of using it on the iPad. That's where it's going to be a make it or break it type of deal for you. Otherwise, like I said earlier, this could easily be my only computer because I have the desktop M4 Mac Mini, and that takes care of my video edits, and that's just like my dedicated setup. And then this would be perfect for on the go, but I am slightly limited from keeping it as my full-on device. Real quickly, got to take a pause to thank the sponsor of today's video, which is TomTalk. And if you know me, then you know that I use their bag right here. This is the backpack that I've been using for almost 2 years now. I have a tech pouch of theirs, and I used to use their stuff before I even started YouTube, so they make for the perfect sponsor. This A14 Defender case is good for laptops up to 16 inches. So if you're like me and you have a MacBook Air 15, this is going to be perfect for that. What's nice is that it's a briefcase style, and then inside here you've got plenty of padding, especially like on these corners. They actually call this corner armor. So you have like ample padding so that way your laptop's going to be protected. But what I also like is this front pocket right here. This has compartments inside. So inside here you can put stuff like your MacBook's charger, maybe your SSD or any other accessories. And also, last thing I want to add is that this sleeve compartment is good enough to throw your MacBook and an iPad in there. So again, if you're like me and you have both of them, then you could put both in here and then some accessories in here. Now, if you see here, I still have the tags on here, and that's because TomTalk said that I could give away one of these. And then they also sent me an extra sleeve, this one right here. This has a front side loading pocket, and then also this small tech pouch, which is very similar to the tech pouch of theirs that I use. So if you want to win this, all you got to do is just comment down below, and then in the parentheses, just put TomTalk bag. And what I'll do is that once this video gets to like 10,000 views, I'll do a cutoff and randomly pick a winner. So make sure to comment down below if you want a chance to win one of these three. Now, back to the video you're watching. Now, with the MacBook Air 15, you have a much larger screen, and this is like the gas car, and you take it with you. You're not going to have to think twice about whether or not it's going to be able to handle the things that you want it to do, because it's a full board computer, and there's not going to be a lot of things that are going to limit this. The only thing that you might have to think about is whether or not you need more storage, but those are the things that you think about on the iPad anyway. So this is going to just be that 100% okay machine. Like with the iPad Pro, when I know I am out and about and there's moments where I'm like, man, I could have really used this time to edit up a video. I can't do it because I simply can't take advantage of the iPad in that way, because I'm used to Final Cut Pro, and so I don't have any other way. Like, I don't want to learn a different software and have like 2 different editing softwares for myself. But with this, I don't have to think twice. As long as this is with me, I know whether I need to do X, Y, or Z, it'll get done because this can do the job. Now with this MacBook Air, apart from just having the full-on capability of just doing whatever you need done, you also have a bigger screen, right? But it is a bigger size too. So when it comes to portability, that is something you got to think about. I mean, if you take them, side by side, there's a huge difference. And this with the Magic Keyboard obviously has like more heft to it. They're almost very similar in terms of weight, but you take the iPad as standalone, then it's so comfortable that you really don't even have to think about it. So if you can make use of everything that you have to do on the iPad, then I would say that the edge would always go to the iPad because it has more versatility. The MacBook, as close as you bring it to yourself, right? It's never going to be able to give you that iPad experience. You have a larger screen and you've got tons to work with, but the thing is, it just can't give you that tablet experience, whereas the iPad has the ability to be 2-in-1. Now, real quickly, let's say that picking one isn't the issue. What if you're someone that's like, hey man, what if I actually buy both of these? Is that actually worth it? Well, now you have basically two devices that cost probably the same as like the M4 Pro MacBook Pro 14-inch, but you've got more versatility because over here you have a 15-inch display, but then you could add the iPad as a sidecar device and use an extended display here, or if you have the M4 Mac Mini like I do, you could also use it there. Or if you're taking both devices with you, then you don't have to worry about, oh, am I going to have enough compatibility? Should I be taking my MacBook or should I be taking my iPad? If you take both, when you want that tablet experience, use the iPad. When you need a proper computer that is going to be used for something that the iPad can't do, you have that. So it is absolutely okay to have both devices and use them together because, again, like I said, the iPad just has so much versatility in that regard. But if I right now had to only pick one, what would it be? I swear if it wasn't for the iPad Pro not being able to edit my videos, I would pick the iPad Pro because I just love the versatility it gives me. But for the sake of not being able to fully do everything I want to do, I would have to go for the MacBook Air. But like I said, if that wasn't an issue and if both devices could equally handle the work I do, and this is what you're going to have to think about. Can both of these handle the stuff I want to do? Maybe you can try one and then try the other. And if both of them can handle what you got to do, iPad Pro hands down, just because it's a chameleon. It can, it's the future. It's basically a device that you can literally hold in the palm of your hands and enjoy it this way, or use it as a full-on keyboard and trackpad and mouse type of setup. You see, the iPad will always be the electric car. It's the future. It's obviously better, but there's so many challenges that are still left in the way that it's not fully being adopted by everyone. But eventually that time will come. And whenever that does, it's going to be great because, like I said, I would love to only have this device as my only device, and that would simply be amazing. If you do have questions, drop them in the comments and I'll do my best to help you out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up as it'll really help me out and this video out so that it can get to more people. And like always, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you watching this video. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.